From the Fox Studios in New York City, this is Maria Bartiromo's Wall Street.
Welcome to the program that analyzes the week that was and helps position you for the week ahead. I'm Cheryl Casoni, in for Maria Bartiromo. Americans facing massive tax hikes if Vice President Kamala Harris wins the White House in November and lets the Trump-era tax cuts expire. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation and others warning a Senate committee this week that the move would be a huge blow to middle-class Americans.
62% of households will face a tax hike if the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act are allowed to expire. And this is not something that folks are, going to be able to ignore.
We just had our members asking them, what would they do if taxes increased in 2026? About 66% they said they would increase prices, which you can imagine is going to be problematic with the current inflationary environment.
The former president has pledged that, if elected, he will not only keep his 2017 tax cuts, but cut taxes on tips. Social Security benefits. Most recently, he announced he will cut taxes, by the way, for overtime pay.
The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. So that's why we will be saying that if you're an overtime worker when you're past 40 hours a week, think of that. Your overtime hours will be tax-free.
But Democrats are still slamming his proposals.
It's always the same Trump playbook. Donald Trump tosses out a bit of chicken feed to the working people, and the ultra-wealthy like him pocket huge gobs of cash. His only proposal to close some of the gap is a tax on nearly all consumer goods.
Here now is Senate Budget Committee member Florida Senator Rick Scott. And Senator, it's great to have you on the program. I want to add that the Tax Foundation also taking a look at Harris's proposal, said that her proposals would vaporize nearly 800,000 full-time equivalent jobs. Your reaction?
Of course. I mean, here's the deal. If Trump gets elected, he's got a track record. He cut taxes. If Harris wins, you know what the Democrats are going to do? She's always voted for a tax increase. Think about this right now. Trump he's offering, a tax break for tips, tax break for overtime, Social Security, a lot of things. But taxes are going to go down under Trump. They're going to go up under Harris, and they're going to go up a lot. The Trump tax cuts expire at the end of next year, and she said she's not going to extend them. So under Biden, we're spending 40% more than we take in revenues. So if this continues, guess what? I mean, the Democrats are just all they can do is say, oh, here's another tax and another tax and another fee. It'll kill this economy. It's already a struggling economy. We lost 1 million full-time jobs last year, and we're only adding part-time jobs. And if you're born in this country, you're losing jobs. So, I mean, this is already a bad economy, but they're going to exacerbate this economy.
And we're sitting on $35.3 trillion in debt. The interest payments already over $1 trillion, Senator. So, House Speaker Mike Johnson this week, he pulled the government funding bill containing the SAVE Act, requiring proof of citizenship to vote. Now, this happened after a growing number of Republicans vowed to tank that measure. Watch.
We're going to put the SAVE Act and the CR together, and we're going to move that through the process. And I am resolved to that.
If we do this, whose messaging bill does it become? Because it's not going to pass the Senate.
Extreme MAGA Republicans want to shut down the government. We are simply asking traditional Republicans to partner with House Democrats in a bipartisan way to find the common ground necessary to avoid a Donald Trump-inspired extreme MAGA Republican shutdown.
So Speaker Johnson says the House Republicans are going to be working on this all weekend. We've got less than a month, obviously, until the deadline for a partial government shutdown. Where does this go from here, in particular in the Senate? Because that is where the key vote is going to be. The House could pass another version of that CR, but when it gets to the Senate, as you know, the threats are it's going to be voted down.
Well, it's up to Chuck Schumer if we shut down government or not. This is a simple bill. Here's what it says. The SAVE Act just basically says to register to vote in this country, you have to prove you're a citizen. Pretty basic. So when the Democrats say they will not pass a continuing resolution if that's in it, what they're saying is They want all these illegals that they brought in across the border over the last 3.5 years to vote in the November election. That's exactly what they're saying. I don't know any citizen in this country that thinks their vote should be diluted by somebody that's not a citizen in this country. But the Democrats think that's the only way they can win. So if there's a government shutdown, it's up to Chuck Schumer. He will be the one that decides whether we shut down government or not. There's not a Republican in the Senate that wants to shut down the government. I don't want to shut down the government. I don't know any Republican senator that wants to shut down the government. But it will be up to Chuck Schumer.
All right. Well, let's talk about the events on Tuesday night. Remember this fiery moment at the debate when David Muir tried to fact check former President Trump. Watch.
Crime in this country is through the roof, and we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice President Harris,
the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities.
Okay, there's new data now from the Justice Department. It was released Thursday. It supports the former president's words, and it shows the FBI report is incomplete. The number of victims of violent crime remained elevated under the Biden-Harris administration, higher than under Trump. Now, the National Crime Victimization Survey takes into account victims who may not have initially reported the crime committed against them. I want to get your reaction to that.
Crime's up. Crime was down under Trump, and it's up now. Think about this. The numbers they just put out, I think it's 1 of every 50 Americans in 2023 was subject to a violent crime. 1 out of every 50, and 10 out of every 100 were subject to a property crime. That's staggering. It is significantly under Biden. It's up because we have an open border. I mean, Maduro has sent his gangs here to terrorize this country. Right? We have young women being raped all over this country, Lincoln Riley being murdered, and the Democrats do not care. They want to continue to allow this border to be wide open and allow crime, drugs, terrorists come across the border. Think about it. 76,000 people died of fentanyl overdose. Don't the Democrats care at all about the citizens of this country? 1 out of every 50 Americans in 2023 was subject to a violent crime. That's staggering. That's scary.
Well, let me ask you before you go. Look, what we learned in that New York Times Siena poll from earlier in the week is that immigration is still the number 3 top voting issue to Americans. Do you think that Tuesday night is actually going to move the needle in the general election?
Absolutely. Trump is defined. Here's what you're going to get with Trump. A secure border, a great economy, and he's going to get us out of war. Harris is the one that had to prove that she was different than their record. Their record is terrible. Open border. She didn't do anything to prove that she would secure the border. The inflation, the economy. She did nothing to show that she has any ability to do anything to improve the economy. And this is a 3-year anniversary of just in the last couple of days, the 13 service members killed at the Kabul airport. Right, with the Afghanistan withdrawal, she did nothing to say that, I separate herself, because she can't. So this was her opportunity. She failed. Trump is defined. He is going to continue. He was winning before the debate. He's going to win.
Senator Rick Scott, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.